people who've been raised by like strict African parents.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot to say. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Hey.
Welcome. Go.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, sorry, I'm crying. Today we have a really great video to react to. It's gonna be very interesting because we're gonna talk about parenting styles, and I feel like we have a good perspective to bring to the table for this conversation because we were both raised by strict parents. I think when you're raised by strict parents, like you learn from them. It's like what you do and what you don't want to do as a parent.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you grow up to realize that they're just being cautious.
Yeah, like
extremely cautious.
For sure, cautious. But then you grow up and you're like, the world is pretty scary.
So without further ado, we're gonna watch the video. We're gonna blindly react to it like we've never watched it before.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like the video right now. Go and like it. And let's continue.
Let's go.
When you hear the term free range parent, what do you think of?
I see a wide range within free range parenting, but parents that basically let their kids do whatever they want. And I see that as a recipe for disaster.
We've been told by this oppressive, safety-obsessed, terrified society that you can never let your kid do anything on their own, maybe till they're like 36.
It's a luxury to be a free range.
Okay, sorry, can I pause? Because what that girl said, like, what do you mean we're safety obsessed? It's fucking scary out there. There's bad things that happen. What the hell are you,
Especially
are you talking
when you
about?
grow up in the hood.
Yeah.
Or in a, like, you know, like a bad area, and you go to a nice area, we're like, wow, I feel so
door
your
unlocked.
guard is literally down.
Yeah.
Like when you're in those nice areas. So,
it sounds like she's never,
nice area.
she's never left her area. She knows only safety. So she's like, you guys are so safety obsessed. Like,
we have to get the survival method. Like,
literally,
what do you mean?
girl, shut up.
Being a strict parent, I think, first of all, I imagine stress. Should be a really fun time of your life. Why follow all these rules when you want to enjoy your kids?
Hi, I'm Hal Chafee. I have 5 kids. I'm a minister, and we live in Maryland.
I'm Christian. I am a birth and postpartum doula, as well as a newborn care specialist. I have 1 daughter who is 7.
Hi, I'm Jenny Atkins. I have 2 daughters. I'm a health coach, and I wrote a children's healthy cookbook.
I founded the Free Range Kids movement. I let my 9-year-old ride the subway in New York City by himself. I wrote a column, and 2 days later I was on the Today Show, MSNBC, Fox News, and NPR, defending my parenting style. And I started Free Range Kids that weekend as a blog to say, look, I believe in safety. I just don't think that we have to, you know, have a security detail every time we let our kids out of the house.
I just want to see all the ethnic people go to one side.
It's pretty funny that all the white people are free range, but are they?
I can already predict it. Let's see where they go. Yes.
Before we start, do you think you're gonna be free range or are you gonna be strict?
No, I think a lot of like the free range mentality comes from not experiencing trauma too. You know, like we know our parents have gone through some traumatic ass shit, and that gets passed down to us. That's now like how we're gonna think. Like
I don't really agree with the idea of like completely free range. Like I do think your kids, like, they're literally children. What do you mean? You don't need to do security detail? I think you do. I think, like, even my younger brother, when he was like a teenager, when he was like 18, I would be like nervous sometimes when he'd leave the house. Like, you know, like,
it's not
I don't
only
know.
for girls too.
No.
Like,
children should be trusted to make their own decisions.
Of course, children should make their own decisions. I mean, we're trying to raise them to be responsible adults. If they don't make decisions, they'll never learn.
When my child is possibly going to make a bad decision, what I want to do is not tell him it's a bad decision. I think that's the wrong thing to do because then ultimately he's probably going to reject that anyway.
But I remember a time, my son called me, he was 10 at the time, and he said, Mom, can I have another piece of banana bread? And I thought, I felt bad because, of course, that's a very simple decision. They expected that I was the one to decide almost everything about what they were eating and doing, and I felt like there was something wrong, and that actually started me reevaluating things. And can they climb the tree? Just let them climb the tree.
And what's the worst that can happen? They break an arm?
Right, yeah.
Oh, well.
hold on, wait, what? Okay.
I kind of get what she's trying to say. Like, she's like you're not gonna die.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about is this is in America. Healthcare isn't free.
Oh my god! $60,000
$1,000 for a fucking broken arm.
That is so true. And the way she just said, oh well, like whatever.
We don't have that. The facilities, no, we don't have that.
Well, for my kid specifically, she can go outside and play after school, and she can draw, and she can do whatever, but there is a very healthy boundary. Like, we don't have the type of healthcare that most people have. So like, no, you can't climb the tree. If it's like, oh, I don't want to play violin anymore, but it's like, you're not allowed to quit things that you start, because even as an adult, you become a flaky adult.
You see so many parents nowadays who just like bend to every whim of their child. Children should be trusted to make their own decisions when it is wise for them to make their own decisions. You know, I'm not going to let my 5-year-old decide that he's not going to brush his teeth anymore, because he doesn't. You know, as the child grows and as you as a parent train that child, then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
I think train is a good word.
I don't want to train a child.
Okay, well I do.
I think he used the wrong way. I think he meant raise. Like, you know,
I'm kind of with train though. Like, you have to teach them. Like, say, like imagine kids with like bad manners. They're untrained. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you didn't teach them that you can't scream in public, or like you can't throw a tantrum in public. You have to like,
there's repercussions.
Yeah, you have to teach them. You can't just do that.
Like, I got the type of parenting style that she's talking about.
I feel like she looks down on other parents who don't parent like her, but she's not even realizing like how many things she's saying out of privilege.
Deserve privacy.
What do you think?
Kids deserve. Okay, this is a good one. I do think they deserve privacy.
Yeah,
I do.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't think like I'm definitely not with this is like my house, my rules kind of thing. Like, you are entitled to your space. This is your room. Like, like no, I agree with.
Or like
that.
Going through their things.
No, I don't like that.
It's invasion of privacy. At whatever age, like you don't want to.
I mean, it depends though. There might be a reason you might have to go through something. Like, I saw like a really sad movie once, like a bullying movie, and like they were like writing really mean notes to the girl. She had them all in her backpack, and her mom discovered them when she looked through the so like I don't know, like there's certain situations where you might have to, but in general, no, they do deserve their own privacy.
Even though they're not adults, they're still people, and they need time to either hear their thoughts or process things, or just they need a sense of comfort and solitude.
I mean, there's no way that I'm not going to have access to their cell phone. That's not going to happen. But if they want time alone,
that's a good one.
I think that's fine, and they should have that, and it's healthy to do that. The reason I hesitate is because I think back to my childhood. There were things that happen sometimes that can last with you for the rest of your life. You know, people can be abused online now. So when I have that parent spidey sense of something's not right here, and my kid's gonna be like, no, you can't have my cell phone. Yes, I can.
Cell phones is a good one. I completely forgot about cell phones, because this is true. You don't know what's going on there.
Your whole life is on your phone too.
Yeah.
You can figure out so much about a person by going through their phone. I just hope that like I can trust my child enough, or like that I trust my parenting enough to like not need to do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know? And then you know your kid too. Like, some kids, like, you can tell they're super naive. They're super like, there are kids who are like very excited about things, and you know that they'd be quick to get involved in something that might not be great for them. And then you need to guide them. Some kids don't need that much guidance. Like, you know, like
you can kind of tell. Right?
You can tell who your kid is. You know,
even with your cousins and stuff.
You can tell who's the kid who needs like, who's gonna be bad or who's good, or like you can literally see it.
So my kids also look through my phone. Privacy.
Okay, what? Wait. What? Her kids look through her phone. I'll go through your phone.
At my house, there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills. She also trusts me, and I've wanted to make a relationship to where she trusts me that even if she came to tell me, like, there's no yell, I don't yell and I don't scream and I don't do any things like that. We're very open, but there is no privacy.
I just don't like you don't pay bills so you don't get privacy. I don't like that reason for not getting privacy. I like the respect. I think that, like, I'm your parent. You don't like throw the privacy in my face kind of thing.
Like, I was thinking, you know, you're in an argument, she goes in her room and slams the door. Like, you're about to open that door up and be like, what do you think you're doing?
Exactly. You know? Then I can do that. Yeah. But like, not on some, you don't pay a bill in here. Like, obviously you don't pay a bill, you're fucking 14. Like, you know, like
I good point.
I don't work, mom. Like, you know, but I don't like when parents bring up like bills and stuff. Like, I understand it's so different from like my own culture, because I just don't see it like that. I don't think kids should pay bills. Like, I don't think like if you're a teenager you should pay bills.
Yeah.
If you don't have to, like, you know, like if your parent actually needs help and you work and you can help them, that's okay. But like, not on some like you have to give up like half your paycheck.
Yeah.
To, you know, like, I don't think that's fair on the kid then. Then it becomes kind of like a burden on them, you know? But
I think it's important, though, that we hold our children accountable, because in the world, there are plenty of adults who are not held accountable, who've never been held accountable, and they just do things that are terrible.
But most of childhood is little things, and you don't have to be there for everyone, because that's when kids start realizing, I can handle this.
A lot about parenting and like strict parents, it's not about how you raise your kids, it's the outside world, what they can do to your kid.
Yeah.
It's not about what your kids can do to other people, you know what I mean?
And that's her perspective.
Yeah, it's like very dumb. Like, I'm sorry, I can't.
With the free range, right?
There's some crazy ass people out here.
Yeah. And then you think about like kids who are like so entitled, they never think that they need to take accountability for something, and it's like, I wonder what kind of parent raised you. Yeah. And I could see a free range parent like teaching them like, oh, like life is free, and like you shouldn't have to do what you don't want to do. And it's like, no, like there are things you need. There are discipline. Yeah, like there's discipline, there's accountability, there are rules in life. There is right and wrong, and it's not all that you want to do.
That's how you raise a sociopath.
Especially that one blonde free range lady, she is so irritating. Like the way she's talking about, she just has such a,
you know what this reminded me of? Like if our kids went to school together and her kid hit my kid.
Oh, please,
and
that's the parent?
She'd be like, well, like that's how she felt in the moment. She felt anger, like
1000%. I would have to hit you now as well, because that's how I feel in the moment. Like it's like, you know, when that kid goes home, they're not getting disciplined. Yeah, it's okay, honey.
Yeah, and he'll do it again.
When you hear the term free range parent, what do you think of?
Privilege, the ability to just do things without any repercussions or consequences. As a Black person or a person of color, we sometimes just don't have the privilege to allow our children to be free range. Although I would love for her to be free spirited and just do and be, she can't, because Black kids get murdered in the street.
I'm sorry, but like, I hate to make everything about race, but it really is all about race. Yeah. Because like, it's only a thing that a white person can do, where you can like make it seem groundbreaking. They're like just so ahead of time to be free range, when really it's giving neglect. Like if a Black person were to leave their kid on the train and they're 9, they would literally call CPS on you and be like, hello, where is the parent? Where is the safety? And then a white lady comes on it, she goes on the news, she's getting like, it's a movement.
Foundation.
Why does everything that white people do have to become a movement? It's always a movement. It's not you're just not involved in your kids, or like it's just so clear that you guys grow up in a bubble. Like the bubble you live in is showing.
There's a reason why all the ethnic people went to one side and all to one side. It's clearly about race.
That's the thing too. Like it sucks because like Black kids of color, they don't have the freedom to just be free spirited. It's just
and these are things that you need to learn young too.
Parents should be parents and not friends.
I don't even want to see that.
This is actually hard for me. My job is not to be my kid's friend, it's to be their parent. But I don't think that is mutually exclusive of not being their friend either, if that makes any sense. But I prioritize, right, being the parental unit.
Me and my mom, I would say that she's my best friend. But like as a child, she was my mom. And I hope to have that type of relationship with my daughter. But right now, I'm the parent and you're the child, because I don't want you to lose respect for me. Like, I'm not gonna go clubbing with my daughter. Like, there's just some things that I'm just not gonna do, that I do with my friends, that I'm not gonna do with my kid.
I agree that I'm their mom first, but I'm also their friend. I'm also someone that they trust and admire, and they come to, and I listen to them, and I give them my opinions, and we have forged a friendship, but it's not without my position as the authority in their life.
In my mind, once my kids are 18, or let's just say moved out of the house, they are an adult. And at that point, I want to stop parenting. If I haven't parented enough by the time they're 18, then that was my chance. I don't want to be a parent after 18. And when it comes to clubbing, I hope that when my kid is old and grown up and they're going out for a beer at a bar or whatever they're doing, of course I want to come with them.
But here's the thing, I just want to say on the other side of that is that we never stop growing up. I mean, man, I don't have parents. I wish I did. There's some times where I wish I could just ask for help.
I guess I don't want to do that. No, you're going to do that. If your kid comes to you, I'm sure you will.
Of course, I guess I just want this.
Right.
You know, I want them to be very independent.
With your own mother, do you have a mother? And if you do, do you ever just need your mama sometimes? Do you ever just?
Not really.
You don't need to.
This lady is so cold. Like she's so like disconnected. I feel like she said when her kids are 18, like I hope I don't have to parent. If I didn't, then I just missed my chance.
I think she doesn't have like that nurturing side of
like she seems like there's no warmth to her.
Yeah.
She's like,
like
no.
once you're 18, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Even though she's saying this like out of like a cold, like she's weird. I don't like this lady.
She doesn't have grown kids yet.
Yeah.
They're still little. Wait till they grow up.
But imagine
perspective will change.
But imagine you're saying that when your kids are young and you're already like, when you're 18, I'm done.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're young, you're like, I'm gonna be there for you forever until you die. Like until you're old, I'll always be there for you. But like she's saying that already. It's like, dude, I believe her.
Also, when you're 18, like maybe her kids don't need her for that financial maybe she set up her kids really good to be able to flourish on their own.
Yeah.
Like they have a trust fund or whatever, you know, like
because she said the girl asked her, don't you ever need help from your mom? She's like, not really. Like,
but I want to know what her help is. Like maybe she's never been through something traumatic, or like never really like lost anyone, like maybe.
But like my thing is like, wouldn't you extend your hand to your children? If you won't extend your hand to your own children, who are you there for? But I was gonna say, like, kids might not call their overly strict parents when they're older too, because there was never that foundation of like, come talk to me and like I'll be there for you emotionally. So like both ways, you might not have a parent to like be there for you emotionally, but she's telling them, don't come to me. A strict parent would still be like, or like an ethnic parent, it would be like, you can come to me, but it's like, I'm not gonna call you. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Spanking your child is an acceptable form of punishment.
Oh my god, not this one.
What?
I don't want to get involved at all.
Yeah.
She said, I'm
Do
calling
we
my
have
kids
to-
on you today.
Wow, yeah, so I'm kind of saddened that nobody else walked forward, because not only do I think it's an acceptable form of punishment, but I think it's one of the best. And the reason is because it's effective, it's quick, it's over, it's done, and the kid can go off.
He said it's effective, it's quick, it's over and done with. No.
Like he's talking about.
The thing is, like, I think like parenting is like, it's like takes so much patience. Like you have to explain and explain and explain again to your kid why something is wrong. Like you're gonna explain something, they're gonna make a mistake, and then they're gonna explain it again. Like I don't like the idea of hitting your kid. Like I maybe like slapping a hand or something like at most, but
Yeah.
I just don't believe in like a big person hitting a little kid. I just
think
don't.
now, okay, first of all, we got beat.
Yeah.
We got beat, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, not like abuse.
Not abuse,
but
but
I was definitely scared of that.
Yeah.
It's like, who wants to get hurt?
No.
So when I got to a certain age, my mom used to take away things, like take away the keyboard.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like the mouse, or we had like
Your mom was
huge
clever.
ass PC state, whatever, like big computers. We didn't have MacBooks back then.
Yeah.
So I think now taking away their phone would be like,
lose privileges,
Wi-Fi,
like Wi-Fi
turn it
is off now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like you don't have to. I just don't think you need to hit.
No
Like,
allowance.
because if they're too young to understand, then they for sure don't need to get hit. Like if they're like 4 or 5, why are you hitting them? They don't get it. They're just figuring it out. And then if they're older, they have things. Take it away.
I also think there's those exceptional kids that even if you hit them, nothing will happen. Like they do not take that feedback as like no. Like they're just that erratic.
That's their
sometimes,
character.
You know? Yeah.
And it's not about getting angry, I'm mad, I'm gonna whack my kid. No, it's about, okay, you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you're going to get spanked for this.
He's kind of scary.
Yeah, and this like can result in some serious emotional like trauma when they get older, you know, like if it's excessive.
Like it just feels very like a scary household to me. I don't know. I don't want to judge, but like it doesn't sound fun.
So I'm going to ask any of my disagreeers who wish to step forward to talk about this. Please do. If you wish not to step forward, you don't have to.
The specific anecdote I have is for my child is one time, like, you know, as a parent, you can lose your patience, and that happens. We would just kind of like slap him on the hand, and we did something like, don't do that, don't do that. And I remember one time he did something, and he started becoming more self-aware, and he started hitting himself on the hand and hitting himself. And I was like, I can't do this. We can't go down this path with him. You know, you've led your kids in a way that hopefully he doesn't lash out into the real world. I don't want him to react like that to someone else either, and I just feel like that's my responsibility. So.
Yeah, and you know, I hear that opponents to spanking will say, I don't want my child to be violent.
Yeah.
You know, I have 5 kids, 10 and under, and the exact opposite is true.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times being spanked and that it...
Yeah, I remember each and every bad spanking.
Yeah, like the bad ones, I definitely remember them.
You know,
it definitely
does something to your mental, guys.
For it, I would do, because I
I would be lying if I said I never have spanked my child. Of course but I don't feel good about it.
I'm a black person and I live in a world where black people are beaten all the time. I have a mother who spanked me. I'm not glad that I was spanked. I respect her, but I'm not happy about that.
I sometimes fear I am raising my children the wrong way.
Okay, self-aware queen.
I think part of parenting is always worrying. I mean, as hard as I try to do the right things, you know, there's always doubts in your mind that you've done something wrong.
I love to tell parents, especially new ones, that we're all winging it. We're making mistakes every day, but the good thing about it is that our kids still love us. They still look at us like mommy and their eyes.
Friend. Right. Club buddy. Right.
So like parenting is literally just like one huge ass experiment.
That's a nice expression.
You know,
parenting is one huge ass experiment. Right.
I heard like as a mom you should never judge anyone's.
Yeah, I believe that.
You know, so like keep it to yourself and never judge anyone's parenting style. So I'm not gonna judge the free range thing. Do I think I will ever do it? No. I do think that kids should learn from a young age that there are repercussions to every bad action. And because that's when they're absorbing the most information, learning the most about the world and life. So
I feel like the free range parents, their goal is to be like, I want to raise kids who are independent when they're older. Because I believe that too. Like, I feel like your goal as a parent should be raising people who know how to function in the world by themselves. You don't want someone who's like 25 or 28 or 30 and like they're dependent on their parents and they can't function without their parents, and like, you know, like, 'cause there are people like that.
So like if you do grow up with really strict parents, like sometimes that can also happen where they're so overbearingly strict that you don't know how to function
without them.
Yeah, you kind of like always look to someone for approval or like making decisions for you and simple things that you should be able to do, like honestly as a young adult, you know, and it's like that can also cause that. So that's one thing I want to make sure
it's a reverse effect, right?
Doesn't
like
happen.
You push so hard, they end up coming all the way back to being like, you know,
for the simplest things.
Yeah, like strict parents, the intention is always it's just like overprotective, and you just want to be there for them, but you have to get like it's hard, but you have to like let them make mistakes, let them hurt themselves, let them figure things out on their own. Like I want my kids to come to me for emotional things.
But at the end of the day, like we know that we're like breaking generational curses.
Literally.
Like, you know, how our parents parented us was based on how they were parented, which was way different than what we know here in the Western world. So, and we're just more aware. We're more aware of like mental health, more aware of how childhood trauma affects you as an adult. Like we're more aware of these things. So it's up to us to really like do this right. Yeah. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you like this video. I actually really enjoyed filming
Me too. This was a good one.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will see you guys in our next